Hi, welcome. This is our daily reading for Wednesday, October 19th, 2016. Remember, it's a general reading, so see what feels right for you. See which signs, symbols, bells, whistles, messages, energies resonate for you and bring you clarity to what you're wondering, concerned, confused, inquiring, dreaming, praying about. We're all children of God. We're all psychic. We're not all going through the same thing, so see what feels right for you. It could be one sign that brings you clarity. It could be the whole reading. It could make sense later. In the end, always use your logic and intuition together to make sound decisions based in love for the highest, greatest good of everyone involved in the situation and so on. So we're all uplifted in love. See how it feels for you, how you ride these energetic waves that come through here is always up to you. Is it your wave? Is it not your wave? Are you waiting for another wave? Preparing for the wave? Crashing into the wave? Riding that wave? Or ignoring the wave? Also, feel free to make this an interactive video with me if you want to pull some cards for yourself. And if you have some time, try to check out the links that I provide below and see if there's some more depth signs for Wednesday, October 19th for you in those links. And also show your love and support to the artists and musicians. All right, let's begin the reading. Hi, welcome to our daily reading for Wednesday, October 19th, 2016. Let's begin and see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, our higher self, angels, and energies of love have for Wednesday the 19th, 2016. Let's begin with the Paulina Tarot, one card for focus, clarity, and understanding the energies of the day and how to ride the energies best. Let's begin with one card. The Four of Cups. So, getting stuck in a box, getting your head stuck in a box, watching, I think, watching too much TV, getting trapped in something, not hearing something, refusing to hear something, refusing to feel something, not looking at the blessings around you. It's like the blessings are right around you, right here, right around you, somewhere in your relationships, in your opportunities, in your tools, in your talents, in your, I'm getting letters. So maybe in your email, maybe online, something like that. You're looking the wrong place. You're looking only in one website, one place, you know, and you have to look outside that box so that you feel alive again. You feel free. I feel like there's messages all around you and celebration all around you and growth and stability. And you're just sort of not paying attention. You're daydreaming. You're being a square, I want to say. Like being a square, being set in your ways, being a little stubborn in something. Yeah, I'm getting square. But maybe male energy, one way. Focused, usually a good focus, but perhaps it requires you to find stability by opening up the box, by expanding the box, by looking outside of the box today, or in the box, perhaps in the mailbox, something like that. I feel like you're connecting, you're covering your heart, but then there's a heart on your third eye that's exposed. So you want to think with your heart. Maybe you have to adjust the antennas, adjust the frequency. I feel like you've been stuck in the box for so long that instead of antennas, you're growing like trees. So there's growth, but you're disconnected from that growth somehow. You're not connected. You're not open to the messages. You're not open to the growth, open to something different, open to moving to the 5, to change. 4 weeks, a month, something like that, that you've been waiting. I feel like soon change is coming. You have to sort of still feel inside, but open up, allow. I feel like it's sad. You know, it's sad. There's something lonely here. There's something one-dimensional, you know, like two-dimensional, just sort of flat. So I'm seeing paper again, like letters. Maybe there's something you have to open, you know, a letter, and that could open your eyes, something you missed, something you just sort of put in the, like, you know, with the junk mail, something like that, that maybe that will open. You have to open something up, open up something square. That's sort of what I'm getting. And then I see all of this celebration. You know, there's this little guy dancing with balloons on the leaves. There's, I want to say they're like peacocks here, and they're carrying a letter. It's like a little letter, a little message, some words of advice. There's like a little bird here singing, holding some like little hearts, and I want to say it's like a little sock monkey on the other side, sort of just smiling and enjoying hanging out on the branch, but maybe, I don't know, they're getting a free ride or something like that out of this because they're not paying attention. I feel like there's someone there taking advantage and someone there helping. So maybe you just need to open up your ears, listen, change your focus. Notice the blessings. Notice what you have around you. I feel like you have to notice something around you that will change your focus and bring you opportunity. Make you feel like you have more stability in your heart, in how you're feeling. It's emotional. Maybe this is sending a letter to somebody, sending a text to somebody, connecting to somebody. Maybe that's how to get outside the box, get outside your own thoughts, your own, like, I just hear like stubborn in your ways, set in your ways. Somebody is set in their ways. This doesn't have to be you. This could be someone around you and they're set in their ways, you know, and you're the one here dancing and celebrating and noticing opportunity and abundance. And there's somebody else you just can't get to. You can't get through. They're only seeing something one way. It could be that way. It's a general reading. So I feel like for some of you, it's finding something that gets you out of the box, gets you unlocked, helps you to see the bigger picture, gets you, yeah, out of something. But you have to change your focus. Maybe take some advice if it comes in today. I would say look for who enjoys, I want to say enjoys what they do, has that energy to give you advice that's sort of positive and beneficial, and I want to say like instinctual. Maybe somebody's going to have a conversation with you or you with somebody else, and you're going to be helpful to help them get out of a box, or they're going to give you just some advice and you're going to see something a different way. You know, you just never saw it that way. You didn't know that was an option, a direction, a crossroad, a path. I feel like you're standing at the water here and just sort of like staring in the water, staring at what didn't work, you know, what like spilled milk, you know, what you broke, what you didn't do right, what you could have done different. And you're just kind of going over and over and over. And in the beginning, those questions were good because they could have brought you out of your situation, but for some reason, whoever this is, these questions put them more and more inside this box. So instead of expanding with these questions, expanding their consciousness and how they grow from whatever it is they're thinking and worried and, you know, just sort of down about, to, you know, instead of having growth from that, they're getting trapped in that. So I feel like the stability in the Four of Cups comes with the growth, with change, with expansion, with changing your focus. So let's get more clarity on the Four of Cups for the day. I'm going to go back to the Heart of Fairy Oracle. Let's get another card for the day for the Four of Cups, the Four of Hearts, the Four of Vessels in some decks, the Four of Water. So it's emotions. Sometimes I feel like the Four of Cups brings us inside the box also, so we go inside ourselves and we learn how to get out. So sometimes being trapped in the box is okay. It's not always bad. It's, you know, wherever we are is okay. It's a lesson. So if you're in the box, use that to get out or to really know what's going on inside of you. More clarity. I just feel like there's sadness and joy together in that card. The Lady of the Forest, 20. So that brings us to a 2. She feels, you know, she asks you to ask yourself how you really feel, about something. You know, maybe you're asking somebody else how they really feel about something. It's like a forest. It's slow changes, growth, seasons, deep connection with emotions, feeling. It's like, I want to say Mother Nature. It's very eternal. It's a beautiful, big energy. It's nature. It's feminine. The other half of everything. So it's imagination, creativity, allowance, beauty, wisdom in nature specifically. So understanding nature, understanding, I want to say like somebody who does statistics or surveys, something like that in nature. Like you actually go out in nature and test water, you test maybe chemicals, you test growth, you test, I just saw like bats, so maybe like bats or birds or owls, like animals. You find animals, you make sure they're safe, maybe endangered animals. Maybe you take pictures of nature, something like that. You know, a camera that does something like, I guess, zooms in or is very quick. I just thought of my sister earlier trying to take pictures of 2 eagles flying above the garden. So maybe eagles flying free, seeing the bigger picture, the forest through the trees also, getting lost in the forest and then coming above the forest, seeing the whole picture like a map, a different view of the situation. Maybe I think of like coming back to the same, maybe the same forest year after year, or, you know, visiting someplace year after year or through seasons and looking at how it changes. I'm getting fall specifically with this, with these leaves, with that foliage, but her wings not only look like leaves, but they remind me of like a fairy and almost like a dragonfly, like translucent, dainty, feminine, delicate, you know, something really delicate, almost like, yeah, almost something like, I see like powder, like makeup. Yeah, I see makeup, like tiny little glitter makeup, something like that. Maybe painting with makeup, painting something delicate. I just saw this as like a tattoo or something on the face, painted like a leaf. So maybe something for Halloween. I'm getting that again. I'm getting the makeup artist thing now, again, out of nowhere. So maybe that's for a makeup artist or somebody who paints, or maybe you're a painter and you're using the human, like human as a canvas, something like that. So maybe not actual makeup, but paint, and then using like glitter, something like, you know, I have this. I just kind of threw some glitter and some spots after the painting, like something like that, using texture. I feel like it involves texture. So it's just constantly creating, always dreaming something new, always having a new vision. Allowing yourself to have a new vision and not getting stuck with the way you always did something. Allow yourself to feel differently about something if it changes for you, if that situation changes, if you feel like you need to grow. This is allowing something. So let's move to the Life Purpose Oracle cards. And let's pull another card for the 19th of October. More clarity on the Lady of the Forest. You know, I feel like you have to feel when you're in the forest. You have to be quick. You have to be instinctual. You know, you have to be prepared. You have to be, yeah, like, I want to say like you're always learning something new. Like learning to see in the dark. Learning to hear what you can't see. Stuff like that. And using the... What are you doing, Vinny? You're doing loop-de-loops? That was like a circus trick. Oh, that was pretty good. Can you do that again on purpose? That was pretty fancy. That was pretty fancy, that one. All right, let's continue. Yeah, I feel like seeing in the dark, learning to tap into those senses. So you take opportunity, use what's around you, use your surroundings to help you grow and prepare and create things with what you have around you. And when I feel like when the sun comes out in the forest, you have to use that time, use that opportunity, take that opportunity when it comes, when it's presented to you. You know, when you, yeah, when you see what you need, you have to use it and then prepare it and keep it for when you need it later. I hope that made sense. Well, infinite abundance, so cornucopia. So I was thinking of like somebody canning something that they found for the winter, and this is harvest. So understanding when the harvest comes, how to open your arms, open your ears for opportunities so the harvest can come in. You have another, this was eternal, and this is infinite. So there's all this feminine energy going around this box, this masculine energy. So maybe this feminine energy is helpful to help us move out of our box. It's a general reading, so we all get stuck in a box sometimes. It doesn't mean it's the masculine one that's watching this reading. We all have it in us. It could be the guy around you, the guy you're thinking of, the guy in you, or I think it's just our focus, you know, that direct focus. And this is like the cornucopia. It's that continual movement, that feminine energy. It's around energy. It goes around the whole situation and checks out every perspective to make sure it's right as they move in or out. It's growth. It's cycles. It's working with cycles, energy, emotions. I feel like the sun is definitely almost like it's the same for us. This is night and this is day. So you're fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose, your purpose. Maybe you were stuck in the box because you're doing something that somebody else thought was your divine purpose. And sometimes we don't know what we want at all, or who we are, or what we're good with. Sometimes we're natural at something and we think we're good at something because we're natural at something, and that something we think we're good at is not good for us at all. Regardless of our skills, our talents, or whatever, it's just not right for us. Perhaps it's not right now. Sometimes it's later that it's right, or that you find that merge where that thing that you're good at and the thing you want to do come together. Maybe they're different. Maybe it's the same. You're fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose. But it's, you know, it starts with the seed, the idea, the inspiration, the vision, the desire, the want to create something new, to change. It's easy to get comfortable, you know, inside something too. When I think of a 4, I think of, you know, something comfortable, stable, solid. But sometimes that gets us stuck and stagnant. So we need to have growth and move with the flow. So I feel like when you start to move with the flow, that's when abundance comes. You know, you plant the good seeds, you work with the seasons, and then it's sort of like, almost like breathing. You know, you put the energy in, and then you allow it to come back. You know, you put energy into something and love into a garden, and then you get to eat those nutrients, those vitamins and minerals, and that energy goes back into you. You know, that living life energy goes back into you, and then, you know, helps our energetic system. So maybe eat more fruits, vegetables, things from the garden, stuff like that. And it'll help you transform your energy. Maybe eat more often. I just thought of like eating like a bird, you know, eating a little bit here and there to restore your energy, something like that. Flying free, feeling light, golden light. I just see these blue butterflies. So transforming your situation into something better, taking that seed and making it, you know, a cornucopia of abundance around you. You have to recognize, you know, that abundance and allow it in. You have to pick the fruits and, you know, create a beautiful, you know, meal with it. Getting that cooking. So let's move along to the, let's go to the Thelema Tarot and get another card for Wednesday, October 19th, 2016. Let's get one card for clarity on strength. the Lady of the Forest, and that one is the Eight of Swords. So, it's from, you know, getting worried and stuck in the box to not getting up, changing things, doing something. You know, there's nothing holding you down. There's something about the 8 that's bringing you back into power. There was something that was blinded to you for a reason. There was an opportunity that you couldn't have for a reason. There was a relationship you couldn't have for a reason. There was something that brought you into this point where you want to just fall into a puddle and cry, you know, and just stay there because you don't know what to do. But that fall, that disappointment, that's something that you just, you know, either you were blind. I feel like you just don't want to see the truth. You just didn't want to see something. You didn't want it to be a certain way. You know, this is when things don't go your way. But I feel like this is when the infinity is in the undercurrent. It goes deep down into the ocean. It's planting the seeds. It's showing you what you don't want. So you recognize it the next time and say, no, that's not good for me. I don't want to fall in the puddle again. You know, it's up to you to get up, you know. Here, you know, you're standing up, but you're focused on something that's making you sad, you know. You know, it's maybe the same situation. Maybe there was a letter and it wasn't what you thought. Maybe, you know, all this joy around you wasn't for you. And you just, you know, feel left out in the cold. But it's up to you to walk away from that situation if that situation wasn't for you and you felt out of place here. Maybe there was all this going on. There's all this energy going on and they're all celebrating and that's just not for you. You'd rather be in that box than with this chaos going around, whatever it is. So there's an opportunity for you to see that and find a way out, if that's what this card is meaning to you. You know, out, in, around, it's to change your focus somehow. And here, it's up to you to take off your blindfold, stand up and walk through these swords. I feel like there's something about this situation that's protecting you. You know, it's actually a blessing in disguise. There's something about this fall, this cage. Here, it's almost like a cage, you know, that helped you really feel what's going on, feel what's good for you, feel what's right for you, feel what brings growth for you and what makes you fall down. So once you see what makes you fall down, what didn't work, what wasn't right, you have to, I feel like there's always facing fears here. You know, when you take off that blindfold, what are you going to see? Well, you're going to see that you're not trapped, first of all. You know, and that there was something that was holding you down, you know, whether it was you weren't ready for something. This could be somebody else too. This could be this person too that you're helping out or is around you today. Maybe this is how others are around you. In some cases, they refuse to see the truth, refuse to see the situation. They're always sort of down, falling down, not getting up, not helping themselves, not getting out of their own situations, always focused on the wrong things. You know, and then there's infinite abundance here around this whole situation. So maybe you're moving towards this abundance, you know, seeing growth in a situation rather than it keeping you down or somebody else keeping you down because of their situation. You know, for some of you, that's somebody else. And it's up to that person to get up, not you to force them up, to take off their blindfold. I mean, you can try to help. You know, if that situation comes about, if you find that that is your opportunity to bring some abundance into this person's world, by saying, hey, you're good, you're just, those swords are protecting you, and they were just circumstances that came on down to give you some power back, to give you your strength back, you know, to make you feel like you're in control again, and to come back around the next time without your blinders on, you know, standing up, bringing your rain boots if it's raining, you know, bringing a towel just in case, an extra pair of clothes, working with the seasons so that you're smarter next time. You do it different. You find a solution somehow through this. You know, you find another way out. You find your own strength. You find your own solutions. You can help guide somebody else, but it's up to them in the end to find their own solutions. So I see the reflection of the storm clouds above you reflecting in what you're looking at below. So you're looking at the storm clouds, as above, so below. And I feel like the light is coming from the lessons, from the sword, from truth, from, like as soon as you take this off, like these swords glow, like glow sticks. And perhaps you can just walk away and they stay around you like I see like a video game where you're having like a protective like shield or something around you. And these swords, you know, that in the past you thought were holding you in, keeping you down, preventing you from flying free, are actually protecting you as you can fly free wherever you want to go. It's like they're giving you strength, they're giving you protection and power and like, yeah, like I feel like energy around you that's actually beneficial. You just have to see it a different way. So, I'm going to pull one more card to sum up the reading for Wednesday, October 19th, 2016 for the highest, greatest good of all. Also, the 8, I think of infinity, you know, infinite, and so I'm getting 8's power. Get one more card. 4 of the day. Well, that's the 4 of Cups. Well, it's the 4 of Raphael in this deck. And that's like the 4 of Water, which is like the 4 of Cups. So we just had a double whammy, but 4 plus 4 equals 8, which brings us back to infinity, infinite. So there are cycles here. You know, there's an allowance in cycles here. These 2 cards are saying the same thing. So we have to change our focus. It's seeking out other possibilities. Being ready for the magic in life, being aware of your own emotions. So tapping into how you feel. And in this one, I see the dragonflies. So I feel like that's almost like this translucent dragonfly. I feel like they're transformative. They, as well as, I feel like powerful. Like I think of little helicopters, but I feel like they're the most powerful, awesome little flyers. You know, they can go backwards and upside down and stay forward and hold. They're like little cartoons when I think of a dragonfly. So being able to do anything, fly anyway, not just one way, anyway, backwards, forwards, any way you need to go to figure out how to find a solution, to get out, to move, to do something. It's, you know, putting up your head and looking at what you're building, what you're doing, and looking at what else you can build. I feel like you're listening here. When I see these big seashells, I think of the ocean and listening and hearing opportunity, advice, listening, hearing your emotions. How do you really, really, really feel about something? You know, start there, recognize it. Don't just sort of bury it in the sand. And I feel like there's just, you know, something breaks here in the sky, breaks free. The clouds break, the sky just becomes clear. Something washes up and washes away. Something is breathing now. It's always continuing on. So I feel like there's growth, you know, like walking in the sand, walking barefoot. I also see like this little girl, so like a feminine energy growing up, but I feel like she's protected by something really strong. So, you know, even when we feel young, innocent, like a child, just know that we're protected. You know, when we feel like we can't see what's going on around us, know you're protected. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a beautiful day. I love you very much, and I'll see you soon.